Right, Frank!
I think the audience really wants to like Elmer, but he just keeps making such bad choices. Elmer Gantry is the story of this rogue college boy football player with no calling really for the ministry, but a great opportunist.
Mr. Gantry, please come in. I'd like to present you the faculty of the college and seminary. I believe
He's offered a 3-year scholarship to the seminary, which he accepts, meets the love of his life. They fall in love, become partners, and work their way to the top of the revival world.
And yet, even though he has what he considers to be the love of his life, he still backslides and he goes back to a former flame that he had at the beginning of the opera.
On opening night, the temple burns down and Sharon is killed and Elmer survives and moves on to his next career. This was almost now 25 years ago. It was in 1990, I believe, and Herschel and his girlfriend at the time, Lorraine Hunt, I told them about this idea that I was interested in doing an opera based on Elmer Gantry, and I wanted Herschel to direct, and I wanted to Lorraine to play his sister Sharon Falconer, who was the main mezzo character. And we all got very excited about the idea and launched into the project, which became much longer than we anticipated. The making of the opera became kind of operatic itself.
Here we are all these years later, and we made it happen. It was just an idea that really took hold with both of us in a very personal way, and that's what allowed us to stick with it. And through very, very thin times when nobody wanted to produce the opera.
Finally, Nashville Opera took the challenge and decided to mount the world premiere in 2007. We did it in New Jersey, at Montclair, New Jersey, and then William Florescu, the general manager of the Florentine Opera, went down to Nashville and saw the production. And on the first night that he saw it, he said, "This is the greatest thing I have ever seen. This is what is going to change the direction of Florentine Opera here in Milwaukee."
And now we're in the happy position that he's doing it again. He believes in it so much that 5 years later, after he did the version that has been recorded, he decided he wanted to do it again. Probably my biggest job was to take this novel and to put it into much more compact form. It's the story of how American religion revivalism went from being a frontier phenomenon practiced by very few people in rural communities to taking over cities, and nowadays we see the sort of echoes of that in TV evangelism.
When we first met Frank in 1991 and we wanted to hire him for the first workshop, he always struck us as the most intelligent kind of singer-actor. When Bill Florescu said, "What would you think about Frank Kelley directing this incarnation of Elmer Gantry?" we both said, "Absolutely."
The good thing about being the director is I get to be every single character. I don't get to just be Eddie Fislinger. I get to think Lulu Baines and teach that to somebody, and I get to become Sharon Falconer and Elmer Gantry and build what their vision of this reality is, teach those characters what that is, and then put them all together and work together this tapestry of wonderful characters.
A good director like Frank will have the nuance and the patience, which Frank does have, to be able to suggest something sometimes completely different from what the singer chooses, and be able to do it in a way that the singer goes, "Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I hadn't thought of that. Thank you."
I think with opera, one of the challenges American composers have had is because opera has been so defined by European composers, and Elmer Gantry is such a quintessentially American story that I thought that if I were to write an opera, I wanted it to be something that couldn't be mistaken for a European opera. But I firmly believe, as does Herschel, that we need to develop our own national identity within the genre of opera, as so many other countries have.
First-time opera goers need to see an opera that doesn't live up to the stereotypes of opera that they are expecting, of large people standing in one place on stage, screaming in a foreign language that they can't understand. And our goal is to completely erase those stereotypes. This opera does that in spades. The acting, the characters, the accessibility of the music, the fact that it's in English, there's colloquial language in it, and also gospel tunes, just this Americana, but also mixed in with these soaring melodic lines that are so classically operatic. It's perfection. It's really, really a brilliant work, and anybody walking off the street is going to be able to enjoy it.